just had a little bit of a brainwave. And the curiosity's taken the better of me. And now I need to know. So what we're doing, it's in the title. You already know. I'm going to see if I can get all 11, that's 4, 11 of our players on attack duties for a whole season. And see if it can be a functional formation. I'm hoping what I'm putting together will work. But we'll know in about 10 to 15 minutes. I honestly don't know how long this video is going to be. At this point, I haven't even chosen the team. I've got an idea of who I want to be and what the formation I think want to be. So we're going to go with that together and build it. And then we're going to go to the end of the season and see how it went on. If you are intrigued to see what happens, before we jump into the video, if you do me a favour of liking and subscribing, show your support on the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. And even give the bell a little tickle. It will show you when all my other videos are uploaded, such as Doleboy. You can see him on the screen. We're currently in the Portuguese 4th tier, and we are trying to get our way up to be a Villa manager and winning the Champions League with them. They are normally behind me. I realised that they're not today. They're over here. It's fine. You might have seen it on the intro. We'll go in. The team I'm going to choose will be Bayern Munich. I know. They're very good and should probably win the league anyway. But this episode is more of a proof of concept. If I can do it with ease and we still slap the league, then I might be like, okay, we'll do another one with a team that's kind of middling, like you kind of Leeds sort of team. See if it works with them. However, if we get absolutely annihilated, I'll know that it definitely doesn't work. So that's what I'm thinking, because I don't want to leave kind of a variable of if I did it with Villa and we finished 15th. Could just be because they're not that good. I could have done it for PSG, but I've got a soul. And I do really like quite a bunch of Bayern Munich's players, so I want to use them. Mostly Joshua Kimmich. I think he's fantastic. So we'll go in, we'll have a look at that formation that they're going to suggest, which is definitely not what we're going to play. Because if I have all of these on attacking duties, we're going to get ruined. So we'll jump forward to the formations screen. And we'll have a little, we'll start tinkering. That's what we're going to do. Oh, see, now this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a fluid counter-attack is going to be our best option. And I'll walk you through why I think that's the case. I also want to play 5 at the back. But I might very well have 5 at the actual back. Again, reasoning behind it shall become evident. Obviously, goalkeeper, for him to be attacking, has to be sweeper keeper attack. Standard. We know with our defenders, the only way we can have them attacking is as a libero on attack or wide centre-backs on attack. So we can do that. And wing-backs, we can have wing-back attack, all the attacks. Again, I don't want them to be too aggressive, because if we get possession and all 11 of our players belt it upfield, we've got no one left. So we're going to go with full-backs on attack. I've used it on the Doleboy save. It works quite well. With the midfield, I'm going to have you one in the middle. He can be, what are we going to do? I'll put him here as a register, is a support. Come on, there's got to be an attacking one here. This is an issue. Okay, he's going to have to be slightly askew and be a segundo volante. And then also, we'll have another segundo volante, because why the hell not? They're both segundos, therefore no one is the Fergundo. It's not a sentence. Just centre mid attack here. Ideally, what I was hoping is that, because I've just been thinking it out, I was hoping that Regista would have been attack, and I could have had 2 Mazzalas off him on attack. But it's not a thing. Complete forward will go attack here. What do we do? Do we go wingers? I think we've got to go wingers with Bayern Munich, because they've got a lot of wingers. Is that going to be it? Possibly. And then we'll have a winger standard there, and we'll have an inverted winger on this side. That feels like that could make sense. I'm not 100% sure. I am tempted just to whack a second Segundo Volante and just play that and just see what happens, because I know it's horrendously defensive. But what we're going to do is sit there, get the ball, and then as soon as we've got the ball, everyone's going to run forward really fast. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going to keep it balanced because we're one of the strongest teams in the league. Attacking width we'll keep there. Tempo we will keep high. Passing directness will keep relatively short. Creative freedom will be expressive because this is us going forward. Do we want to hit early crosses? Tempted because we've got Lewandowski up top. We will look for the overlaps and focus play through the middle. Yes. Time wasting, we don't need to touch that yet. Pass into space, we'll leave that just for the time being. Transitionally, when it's been lost, we need to regroup. When it's been won, we need to counter. Goalkeeper, you need to distribute quickly to your fullbacks or centre-backs. And out of possession, we want to have a slightly lower line, force the opposition outside, and likewise with the striker. We won't get stuck in because that's just going to result in several red cards. And trigger press will leave more often. This seems like it could work. I'm just going to have a little read over your Segundo Volante. Because outside of that, we've only got kind of your standard centre mids. Then you've got Mazzala, advanced playmaker, and your centre mid. So your Segundo Volantes, slightly different to a deep line playmaker. And it says it's best being paired with an anchor or ball winning mid. We're going to pair them with another Segundo Volante. I can't see that not working. 7 days, I believe, till the start of our season. What we're going to do is have a little twiddle in the transfer window, see if there's anyone we can bring in. Do I want to do that? Nah, I'm not going to bring anyone in. No transfers. What I'm going to do is skip all the way to the end of the season now and see where we are. See if our proof of concept works. So we need to go on holiday. And then in doing so, I want to lock the tactics, but the team selection, they can do what you want with, make sure people fit in. And as we know, we need to return at the end of the year, which I am not 100% sure in Germany. I assume it's going to be the end of May. So we'll come back on June the 1st and see where we are. So I'll see you at the end of this holiday. We are back, 1st of June, and we are still the Bayern Munich boss. I've had a little scoot through already. I'm deeming this as a proof of concept. We've gone a season. We haven't been fired. We've taken a piece of silverware. I'm pretty happy. It's not gone as well as a Bayern Munich season could go. Let's put that straight down. But considering we built this formation and threw it together as an idea, as a thought, as a concept, and we're still here with a piece of silverware, I'm pleasantly surprised. What we're going to do first. What should we do first? We'll have a little look at the league. The Bundesliga does see the end of Bayern Munich's domination. So, as I said, it's not as good as it could have been, but we only finished 2 points off the top, losing 6 all season, considering how aggressive the formation was, but how kind of negative I made it. Maybe I need to stop holding back so much and not have kind of like 7 defenders. Maybe that was one of the issues. We only had a goal difference of 40. Lewandowski scoring 24 for the whole season. Maybe what we could have done is move the libero out, put him as a centre mid attack, alongside our Volantes on attack, possibly. Maybe this formation would be better suited if we weren't quite such a dominant team in the league. If we were doing this with maybe a Hoffenheim or a Wolfsburg, maybe we'd see them overperforming, but because we're expected to dominate games and have possession and all this, then we've kind of stunted ourselves. Maybe. But as I said, 2 points off. We lost 6 games all season. A 5-1 against Arminia Bielefeld, which I've only just noticed. He's not great. 2-0 against Stuttgart, 3-0 against Leipzig and Frankfurt, 1-0 against Augsburg, and a 2-1 loss against Gladbach. So, could be better. Draws against Gladbach, Freiburg, Bochum, and Leverkusen. So, Mönchengladbach didn't actually... we didn't beat them at all. We took 1 point from them. So, they're still doing bits. If you don't know why that's there, you need to go back and watch my Doleboy from last year. Had a wonderful time with BMG. Wonderful. Our wins. We'll have a little look. So, I won't do it here actually. We'll go through the calendar. But we'll look at the league itself in a little bit more. We have qualified for the Champions League, obviously, because we're second. We scored 78, conceded 34. So, the conceding isn't too much of an issue. It's just there's goals scored. So, yeah, maybe we could be a little bit more aggressive. We scored 9 against Dortmund. We'll have a little look through that shortly. So, yeah, in that regards, league could be better, but considering how kind of completely out of the box this formation is, out of the box, I don't know. Considering how wild this formation is, should we say? I'm not upset. Obviously, if we'd have played it ourselves, then maybe we could have noticed little things and done tweaks here and there. But I'm happy to see Gladbach in third as well. Very good. Where should we go now? We'll go domestic cup. We started it from the second round because that's when Bayern Munich are introduced to the cup. We started off with Osnabrück. We beat them 2-0. We then played St. Pauli, beat them 3-1, sorry. A 4-0 against Wolfsburg, a 6-0 against Union Berlin, and in the final, we played against Leipzig, and we won 1. Not the best, but we picked up the win on penalties. We got some silverware out of the season. So we've done pretty well in that regards. Again, some big results. We didn't have the hardest of runs. I know Wolfsburg and Berlin are both Bundesliga teams, but they're not the strongest. But when we did play against someone, we've managed to beat them as well. So we came away with some silverware. You can't really complain or criticise that too much. However, if you can even pick it up, dog's kicking off about something. Not sure why. I'm going to go and have a look at why she's kicking off. And also, we'll be back for the Champions League group stage. This didn't go to plan. We didn't even have a particularly tricky group. Normally playing Bayern Munich, I'd see this and be like, this is a cakewalk. Atalanta might be a bit of a struggle, but we've got this group. We didn't got this group. We started off with a 2-0 loss against Atalanta. Not great. Followed that up with a 1-0 loss against Bruges. Utterly terrible. Then beat Sevilla 3-0. A 0-0 with Sevilla. A 1-1 with Atalanta. And finishing it off with a 5-0 win against Bruges. Wasn't enough because Sevilla and Atalanta drew. If that wasn't a draw, we'd have qualified. But our damage had already been done by playing so terribly in the first 2 or 3. We did then drop down into the Europa League because we were third. We didn't win it. We didn't. We just didn't. We were out in the quarterfinals. We'll go through stage by stage. There was only 3. We beat Monaco on penalties after a 3-3 over the 2 legs. Followed that up with a 2-0 against Benfica. And then a 3-2 loss against Atletico. So considering some of the teams that were in there, relatively tricky draws, I think. But even then, with a team like Bayern Munich, if you've dropped down, I'd be expecting them to win, at least get to the final. Had we beat Atletico, we'd have then had West Ham and Napoli in the final. I'd have expected wins from them. I can see why we got knocked out to Atletico, to be honest. Pretty good team. Obviously, the Spanish league holders. We'll scoot through the calendar. I know we know what happens in each of them, but if any of these results properly jump out on me, we'll have a little look at it. First one being this first league game against Dortmund. There's a 6-4. Brutal. We know that we scored 9 goals against Dortmund, so there's a 3-0 down here as well. So we know that we can play well against some other teams. Cologne, 3-1, 5-1 against Stuttgart. So there are some good runs down here. But there's just a few games in there which we do let ourselves down. We had a 2-2 against Monaco, which we won on the penalties. So the game prior to that would have been a 1-1 as well. So we're playing pretty well. It's just that there's a few games here and there. For example, our 5-1 loss against Arminia Bielefeld, which it just really is not the correct formation. So maybe we can have a little tweaks and see what we're going to do in that regards. So yeah, if I was to bring you kind of saying that this is the best formation in the game, no, it is not. It clearly is not. If I was bringing you a best formation in the game and playing with Bayern Munich, I'd be expecting a treble at the very least. So yeah, maybe we could have pushed the wing backs up, but my only hesitation on that was if I did do so, then they'd be wing back attack and playing as wing backs. They're not going to come back and defend at all. So my thought was if we had them as fullbacks on attack, hopefully sometimes they would come back and still cover that gap a little bit. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I'd like to hear what you think regarding kind of formational changes, if there's anything in that regards that you'd like to see or anything that you could suggest. If you're going to do it yourself as well, please do let me know in the comments. And if you've got any suggestions for like middling teams that we could do it with, I'd be really intrigued to see who you'd think there. And if there is enough interest, and if we can get, how many? 15 likes? If I can get 15 likes on this, I'll do it again, with a team that's challenging for Europe and see if we can implement some of those changes and suggestions in the comments. And if you're interested to see that, or you're happy to see with this, I don't know why you'd be happy, but if you're if you're intrigued by this as well, and you're pleased to see that it is a proof of concept, then give me the like, subscribe on the channel, it'd be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much for your time.